Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. So I can see some familiar names in here. Hello there, Lanza, Grey Knight, Tori Grimmer. You seem fairly new. Welcome. Kangaroos are cool. Yes, they are indeed. It's actually rather funny, actually. My email is wombats are cool, so are sharks. So I feel like a little bit of kinship there. Hello there, Commissar Roach. Good to see you, my friend. Right, I can see a question here from Lanza34. Hello, XTRG, where do I find the downfall scenario for the game? Right, what I think it might be is I'm using version 1.81126B. Now, I'd say this is the... well, this is obviously the updated scenario list. It might actually be included in there. As if I go into my scenario selection, you can see it's about here, Downfall, the end, scenario 14. Hello there, Jackalus, and hello there, Tori Grimmer. Yeah, no, right, excellent taste indeed, yeah. It's a great email. I've had so many people give me such awkward looks. They're like, are you serious? I'm like, yes, 100% I am serious about this. And at the end of the day, it's a great email, because the thing is, nobody ever forgets about it, so it serves its purpose, doesn't it? Okay. So today I'm playing the game primarily in windowed mode, more than likely in windowed mode for the most part. Yeah, I'd say try and update it. If not, I could try and actually send you the scenario list in the actual Discord personally, so that's not too much of an issue. So yes, Operation Olympic. Now obviously we'll be beginning in earnest in about 5 minutes or so. We'll just get into the actual scenario here to get things ready. There's much to do, but the good news is with this being part 2 of Operation Downfall, thanks to Matrix and Slivering Games for allowing me to do this again this week, it means I can really go a little bit further into this and really start to organise things in a much superior method. Hello there, Unknown, how you do, my friend? I want to play this game so bad, but I'm afraid too much of a brainlet for it. I'm too much of a brainlet for it. Oh, don't worry about it, my dude. The best way to learn the game is really through the community. At the end of the day, feel absolutely free to ask any question you wish. There's no question that is silly, and there's no question that's wrong in reality. It's an absolutely superb game here, and it's something that everybody can find enjoyment in. And if you enjoy massive logistical simulations, then yeah, you'll enjoy this. I mean, I make it sound more dense than it really is. It's a great game. And at the end of the day, it is in fact a game. There's no shame in actually learning through mistakes, so don't worry about that one. So how are you, ladies and gentlemen, doing then? How are you guys? I do hope you're well. It's actually quite funny. I did leave a link when I did actually start the live stream. I've been watching a video here from Giangracco on the invasion of Japan. Basically, he is the author of Hell to Pay, which is a book I actually do need to get around to reading in the future, actually. And it would have been fantastic had I started reading that before doing this series, as it does cover the invasion here of Japan, and obviously what the Allies were done, and a lot of the theory behind it, which is rather interesting. Hello there, John Cursor. Hello there, World Wizard MW, that's pretty cool. Right, yeah, that's good to hear there, Lanza. That's very good. Rare parrot alone. I'm still confused what rare parrot is. I would love to know what that is. But hello there, Blue Belt. How you doing, my friends? Okay, only a few more minutes until we can get started here. But it's not going to be long here. I'll fly by pretty quickly, I'd imagine. I love the Pacific War, which there are more games out there for it. Yeah, me and you both, my friends. Indeed, hopefully the light does indeed stay on there, my friend. It would be a shame if the lights were to go out, I can imagine. Makes things a little bit difficult, doesn't it? Yep, very much looking forward to Rule the Waves 2. That's going to be extremely interesting. And when I do get my hands on that game, I'm going to go for all guns forward configurations and battle cruisers. I'm very much looking forward to going for that. Battle cruisers supported by carrier forces would be quite interesting. See, I have been considering actually, do I ask Matrix in the future if I could play, for example, Warplan Orange Dreadnoughts in the Pacific. It's dated. It's more dated than one of the Pacific Admirals edition is. Unfortunately, there's no amazing map mods I'm aware of. But I've been kind of considering actually asking them if I could play Warplan Orange at a future date. The reason for that is it covers some very interesting hypothetical scenarios, which would be rather entertaining. And it would be the era of the Super Dreadnoughts, and obviously the Dreadnoughts, limited carriers, limited aircraft. I think it could be very, very interesting. So perhaps in the future we might take a look at actually playing Warplan Orange Dreadnoughts in the Pacific, 1922 to 1930. As you can see, this game is 2005. Admirals Edition came out in 2009, so a few years there between them. But it could be rather interesting for the far future. Right then, just a minute here to go. Can't wait. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome as we continue with Operation Olympic, really, otherwise known as Downfall, and that is indeed going to be the downfall of the Japanese Empire. So this scenario here that we are playing is in reality an alternate history scenario. So in this scenario here, the premise is that in Europe, the Allied forces have made a bid in Germany and having secured Berlin before the Soviets have created quite a bit of contention there. The Soviets have invaded Manchuria, but only Manchuria, leaving the Imperial Japanese Empire with Korea and obviously their possessions in China, allowing more of the Imperial Japanese army home to Japan, as well as you can imagine, as something of a lifeline there. They don't have the Soviets breathing down their necks in Korea and China. It does leave them in a much stronger position to actually focus upon the Allies. Now, it's a very interesting scenario due to the fact that the US obviously was struggling with manpower towards the latter stages of the war, really. Not so much as in there wasn't enough men, but more so in the fact that, the USA, as the arsenal of democracy, had the vast majority of manpower in the industries. And the thing is, this manpower really is there to produce, arms and equipment for not just the USA, but the entirety of the Allies. So it's a very interesting scenario. And the thing is, it's like, as well in this scenario, the atomic weapons have not yet been developed, or just not actually successful in their development. So, it's a very interesting scenario. We do have until 1946 to destroy the Japanese Empire, but you can imagine in our natural timeline, this war could have gone on for many years. It would have been quite a dreadful affair. It would have been extraordinarily barbaric. But indeed, it'd be rather interesting. How does the complexity of War in the Pacific stack up against War in the East? Learning curve was big for War in the East, but overcame it. I suppose the best way to think of it is, yeah, okay, I'm going to describe it like this, okay, and it's very good, it's very much the case here. You have a very large map here with thousands of little islands for the most part. Just think of these, even think of Japan as an island. Obviously it is an island, but a large one, and even as China as an island to a degree. What I mean by that is you have these bases all over the actual map here. Now, all that matters really is for the most part these bases and the units moving between them. So what you need to do here is you need to obviously get your logistics to serve these bases, which will then have that supply sent out to the units that require it. So thinking of it as a... I don't know, thinking of it like you're sending supply to these many islands. I know that sounds rather strange, but it's probably a easier way to fathom it, rather than thinking, right, okay, I'm going to send all of this to China. You do, but only to specific parts of China at a specific time, and then you're going to be rolling forward like a wave, really. The US had lots of ladies working in the industry. Able-bodied men must have been serving in various armed forces by 1945, yeah. Well, this is it, I mean, it's rather intriguing. Hello there, Pitfiend, it's good to see you, my friend. Okay, so in the last stream, we have begun to actually send our forces forward. We have something of an ad hoc few fleets over here. For example, we do have the British contingent over here. The victorious, indomitable, indefatigable, formidable, implacable, supported by the battleships Howe, King George V, Anson, and the Duke of York. We do have the few light cruisers, the AA ones, which are quite handy. They're going to be quite nice. Now, do forgive the animations over here. This is due to the fact I'm playing the game in windowed mode, but that will come in to play later on, as I'll be able to actually use the drawing tool. Now, I have been discussing with a friend, I'd say. Basically, do we forego the invasion of Kyushu, and do we instead pursue a strategy to invade Hokkaido? And I'm going to say I do feel quite swayed by the argument to hit Hokkaido. Take possession of Hokkaido, and due to the limited amount of logistics over here to the north, if we take a look at this, yeah, there's some high-density rail there. Japan obviously has, for the most part, high-density rail. But if we take a look at the roads, the density is there, but not as great. If we take a look at the actual terrain, we can see here, yeah, wooded, I believe WD is forest rough. Let's check over here. Oh, I actually can't see the top of the map here. I'm going to assume it is wooded rough terrain. If we take a look, yeah, we do have some clear terrain out here. Rough terrain, clear terrain here. But the main thing is there's not as many Japanese bases, or we'll just say orange bases here. So it does give us an advantage. Well, as obviously down here by Kyushu, Shikoku, and obviously Honshu, at least this part of Honshu, the other two-thirds of Honshu, there's a great concentration of bases, especially around Osaka and obviously around Tokyo. So at least over here in the north, we do have the ability to actually consolidate here, and then begin a pretty good push. It would put us closer towards Tokyo, which could be done. Now, we do have a great number of assets. It's just going to be how do we actually employ them. If we take a look at the actual combat reports that we saw last turn, the B-29-25 super fortresses are being used. We did see that over Tokyo we do need to reduce the altitude, which we did adjust it to. I think we previously had them at about 33,000 feet. I think we've reduced the altitude down to 25,000 feet to see how effective that is. Hello there, Dickagee. How you doing, my friend? Establishing a foothold of the North Island, north of the home islands is a sound plan if you can hold it. I imagine we can. We do have a force on its way from Pearl Harbor at the moment. They're about here, aren't they? Yeah, the Kyushu, well, yeah, the Kyushu Airways and the Kyushu Express. We might have to change that to Hokkaido Express. But we also do have quite the number of actual CVEs over here. Which is quite good. Fair amount of aircraft. But importantly, we do have, I believe, 3 marine divisions and some varying amounts of support aboard here. Plenty of destroyer escorts. Plenty of land and ship docks, and obviously troop transports, indeed. So what we're going to do here, then, is we are going to change our, I'd say, our destination. We do have detection over these islands. We'll obviously have to run reconnaissance over here. Now, it's going to be rather intriguing as to how we approach the situation. So I'm just going to tell them to go there for the time being, just so I can bring up the drawing tool. So, let's bring up the actual drawing tool here. This is obviously a third-party program called Epic Pen. I do like it, but I'm not sponsored by them, as they don't acknowledge my emails. So, that's just my personal thing there, so don't think I'm being paid. Right, okay. We'll look at the situation here. We also do need to take into consideration the depth of the ocean. As you can see here, we do have deep ocean pretty much for the most part, only like a little bit of shallows here. I'm going to assume that these areas are probably ocean shallow. Though it does seem like we do have some deep ocean here. Perhaps only here is about shallow ocean. It's hard to tell sometimes, but it seems for the most part it is deep oceans around Hokkaido. So what we need to do here then is really assess where would be the best place to land. And staged by the stage of the war, the USA would have had all interest to deny any more Soviet conquests. Yeah, indeed, sorry, liberations. Okay, so we can see that the actual road network over here by Kashiro is actually rather poor. Let's take a look at the rail logistics, the rail lines. The rail lines aren't bad. Not bad indeed. I believe the darker the colour, the higher the density of the actual road or rail. Oops, wrong button there. So it looks like there's actually decent rail, but not particularly great roads. Which, let's see. I mean, it might be that we lean towards Kyushu, well, sorry, not Kyushu, Kushiro. Let's take a look at the actual terrain. The terrain is clear over here. I mean, the good thing about Hokkaido is the terrain is actually quite beneficial. It could be perhaps that we take control of Hokkaido and then base the US Air Forces out that way. Really pursue a campaign of just leveling the hell out of everything there. Let's take a look at the actual bases themselves. Let's see what they're actually like. So do have a level 3 port over here. Quite nice. Resources and industry there. The light industry could be used to actually produce supplies on the ground there. That's quite attractive. We do have a level 1 port there. Level 4 airbase. Over here at Kashiro, we actually have a size 6 airbase. Okay, so that's a very impressive airbase there. That is quite nice. Okay. So that's not too bad at all, actually. Hello there, Van Bishop. How you doing, my friend? So yes, it wouldn't be a bad idea for us actually to take a look at Kashiro. But let's see here, then. Let's take a look at these other bases. Now, of course, we do have to take into consideration the proximity to Honshu. Of course, Kashiro is probably the most accessible. We could probably move the vast majority of the submarine fleet over here towards the straits here, just north of Ominato. It would be quite nice there. We could actually really shut down that area, try to prevent reinforcements. Though the thing is, we are going to be dealing with kamikaze attacks. We are going to be dealing with more than likely torpedo boats, aren't we? So it's going to be a very interesting operation. Now let's take a look over here at Wakanai. Nice port there, even larger airfield, very handy. Bihoro, yeah, it's the size of the port that we're looking for, really. The greatest I can see at the moment is about size 3. Yeah, there's another size 3 port over here. We do obviously have some small amount of oil, but indeed more heavy industry and light industry. Yeah, a fair amount of light industry over there, actually. Quite good. Right, Hakodate. Great port there, but obviously quite a small airfield. Though the thing is, it might be worthwhile to actually strike at Hakodate, considering the fact that it is obviously on good infrastructure here, but it's actually somewhat cut off from the rest of Hokkaido. There's some distance here to cover for the Japanese. The secondary benefit is it would actually isolate Hokkaido. It's not too distant from Kashiro. So, let's take a look at this then. So what we're going to do here is try to draw up a sort of plan of the actual island. So we can see here that we have a nice band of clear terrain here. Clear terrain here, so basically plains. Quite a bit of wooded terrain, actually. Yeah, Trophy was a staging base as well, maybe. Yep. I mean, we'll take a look at that, actually. It would more than likely be worth to take one of these islands. Port capacity 3, yeah, that's pretty impressive, actually. Pretty damn handy. It does have a level 1... Sorry, no, a level 0 airfield, but that's not too bad. Level 1 port over here. Right. Yes, it would also serve to actually isolate the Kurile Islands, which is also going to be quite handy. But I'd say Itorofu to begin with, and then obviously could move on to Hakodate. I reckon we could probably handle Hakodate, but what we'll be doing here then is actually looking towards using our B-29s actually to try and give us some increased information about the north, and that could be quite handy. Yeah, we need reconnaissance above all. We can see here that the terrain is not too bad at all. I mean, wooded, well, forest isn't too bad at all. I can deal with that. We don't really have much in the way of rough. Well, I suppose this is rough terrain over here. Forest rough, forest rough. I think this is just forest WD. So not too bad, really. We could make do with that. But we do have some nice plains out here, which is quite good. Okay. So what we'll do here then is turn off the drawing tools here for the moment. And we'll begin to plan then to actually hit Etorofu, if I'm pronouncing that right, which I'm probably not. Now, let's take a look at the logistics train that we're going to have to put in place then to deal with that. Now, we do have Iwo Jima over here, we do have Marcus Island, obviously that's not under our control. Wake Island is actually not under our control. It might be, let's see, between Midway and the Kurile Islands. What do we actually have? There's really nothing there. It might be that we actually operate from the Illusion Islands. Yeah, if we take a look over here, we also do have Dutch Harbour, Adak Island, Atu Island. We could build one of these islands up if necessary, but I don't think it is particularly necessary. It might be that we actually make our way towards one of these islands, perhaps, but I'd say we can make a run towards the Kurile Island. Let's see the distance then. Yeah, so we could actually take the Midway Force, sorry, the Pearl Harbor Force, have them head over to Midway Island, have them refuel at Midway, prepare at Midway, and then set out from Midway. We do have a great deal of logistics to actually get going here. We have massive, massive amounts of logistics. Yeah, you take a look at the sheer amount of LSTs that we have over here. That's an incredible number. Absolutely immense number of assets here. Not even mention the actual cargo ships. We do have various support forces. Actually, let's take a look at the support forces I can put together. So go over here, turn off the retirement allowed. Right, so if I'm going to look at support vents, we also do have the destroyer escorts. Very handy. Okay. Right, we do have a number of aircraft tenders. We have auxiliary repair ships over here. And destroyer tenders, I believe these guys are... I forget what these guys are known as, actually. What I'll do here then is actually just bring up a document I have. Let me find it. Say list of all the ship types in the game and roughly a nice description. Okay, so I'm looking for the AGP. Well, AGC command ship, AGP is a torpedo boat tender. Could come in quite handy, to be fair. So we'll leave that just minimized for the moment. Okay. Right. Clear as that there. AVD. I believe that's an aircraft tender destroyer. I believe AMs are just patrol boats, actually. We do obviously have our oilers over here that we do need to get moving. Need to start making them ready. Okay, let's see what an AE is. Ammunition ship, okay, yep. AM minesweeper. Okay. Right. AVD, yeah. Aircraft tender destroyer. Destroyer modified to 10 aircraft. Retains destroyer's ASW capability. And auxiliary used to 10 floatplanes and flyboats differs significantly from the seaplane carrier in that the aircraft tender type ships do not operate aircraft while underway and generally do not carry aircraft themselves. Okay. So, what we'll do then is we'll put together an actual force here. Now you take a look at the sheer amount of oilers that we have available to us. It is astounding. Okay. We'll put a force together then and have it made ready then to actually follow up as a logistics train. If necessary, I could always have them as a separate force. It's not an issue at all. Well, let's see here. AVD is obviously going to be quite handy. What did I say with the AGP was again? AGP. Torpedo boat tender. I suppose we'll throw some of those in there. Destroy tenders. Yep, there we go. The repair ships obviously going to be very important. We are going to definitely need those. Okay, did I miss my ammunition ship? AE, yep, there we go. AVDs, yes. Right, the AGs. I believe they might be ammunition tenders as well. AG, miscellaneous auxiliary. A general-purpose auxiliary with several uses. This spaceship contains small craft performing repair and rearmament, not including torpedoes. Can also carry cargo if used. Okay. That's fine by me. We'll throw those in there as they'll be quite handy just to have that additional support available to us. Okay, so only a 36 ship limit there. Okay, so begin to load fuel. Begin to load supplies. Okay, so we can only do one or the other. That's fine. We'll load supplies and then fuel. Well, actually, what I'll do is actually separate out the oilers. There we go, that'll make it easy. Then obviously these guys can load the fuel, the other ones can load the actual supply. Hello there, Fluffy Bunny. How you doing, my friend? Right, load the supplies here. There we go. So you're going to be loading supplies as necessary. Okay, so you also do have a lot of logistics that we need to move up. We are going to prepare then for a invasion of Hokkaido. I think that's going to be the best way that we can bring the war to a successful conclusion, really. Without the ridiculously large number of losses that would be expected. We'll see what we can manage. Okay. So we'll have the Kyushu Express, also going to rename them to the Hokkaido Express. We'll have them destined for Etrofu? I don't know how. Etrofu? Eotrofu? I don't know how you pronounce it. Is that how you spell it? I can't remember how you spell it at the moment. I'll just double check and we'll change it back then. Oh, Itorofu. Okay. Itorofu. Yeah. I'm not very good when it comes to the pronunciations. There we go. Have them make their way north. Now, we are looking at about, I do believe that is 72 hexes distant from the formation. Yep, 72 hexes. What, right, so it's obviously in the, northern area here. Okay. The good news is we're out of the malaria zone, but we are in the... No, we're actually not in the cold zone. That's very good, then. I believe the cold zone and the malaria zone, they actually do give you increased disruption. Well, not so much disruption, but I believe like fatigue. So that's good. We're obviously not going to be in those zones, so the weather's going to be mostly... Yeah, it's going to be nice. We'll be alright. Not have to worry about that. Okay, so let's take a look at the submarines that we have over here. So we have SS Morai. Ballo. Okay. What we're going to do then is begin to obviously divert these submarines to the north here. I want to try and shut down this area. Though we do have to bear in mind that, yeah, we don't have access to go through here unless we go through a direct route. So I think what we'll do here then is actually try to shut down shipping in this area. Now that could actually be rather bold. We'll see really what the Japanese have for us. It would be nice to actually have some, well, surface support, but we'll see how we go on. Okay, direct path in. Just trying to cover this area with submarines. We obviously want to try and cover our arses to the best degree as possible. There we go. Okay, so we have two submarines over here. Ah, Gator class. Fantastic. Ballo. Need to set them to react, obviously, to attacks. We'll have those two submarines move together. Then we'll obviously organize them. Okay. Direct. Right, react. React. and react. So that means basically they will react to something within a hex of them. Right, we'll take these submarines over here. In fairness, what I might do here then is actually just put them all together in one formation, then obviously move them north and organize them from that point. Let's see, if we were to make the crossing around here, I mean, obviously we could go around into the Sea of Japan without too much of an issue. Obviously, this is going to be a rather interesting area to move through, so we'll see how we get on there. Now, if we take a look, we can see obviously that we do have all these patrols here. Good luck with the upcoming invasion, yeah, definitely. We are going to be speeding up our actions here, really, to precipitate that. We don't really have long, we have a year, but that's not a very long time. It might be worth it to take control of Chichijima, but I don't think it's necessary. At the moment, we are hitting Chichijima with our forces. It's not bad because obviously it gives our forces experience, which is quite handy. I suppose at the end of the day it builds a better experience, so I can continue that for the time being. Right, what we are going to do then is actually take the Guam task force. Interestingly enough, the Japanese have really solid information about our movements here. I think we'll have a British carrier detachment and an American detachment to the south. We might, yeah, I think I'm going to take 2 of these forces north then. So we have the Guam TF1, is this Guam TF1? Yep, and we have Guam TF3 and TF2. What we'll do then is take Guam TF2 as well. Have them sent towards Iwo Jima. It might be even that we use the carriers and the actual ships here to subdue Chichijima, but it's obviously not necessary. We're just gonna head over here to Iwo Jima. What do I have in terms of fuel? Yeah, you take a look at the amount of fuel here. It's absolutely insane. Very, very handy. We will have to take a look at what engineering units we can actually move around the Pacific here to actually facilitate the construction of bases to project power in the north. We'll obviously need a lot of aviation support and obviously a lot of supply. Okay. But I think it'll give us a good opportunity to actually take the Japanese here. Right. Plenty of submarines over here. Huge, huge amounts of them. The thing is, we have probably far too many submarines for me to really make amazing use of. So what I'm going to do here is put them together in a single task force and I'll have them sent to the north. As many as I can get here, then obviously we'll share them out. So 25 submarines here in a task force. An incredible amount of force there. Can you imagine being in an area of... I mean, can you imagine being in 40 square miles and there being 25 submarines? That is a incredibly large number. So I'll have them sent to Iwo Jima. I do yet have more submarines here. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Okay, actually not that many more, but still that is a fair amount there. What was that, 32 submarines? That's a lot of old submarines. There we go. Have them sent north and then obviously we can use them. Right. We'll take a look at what we can actually move here from the area. There aren't any US Air Force assets over here, so what we'll do then is, I don't believe the base has a garrison requirement. No, there's no garrison requirement here, that's good then. Okay, so we have a construction regiment, we have, let's see, base force and base force, okay. What we'll do then is, I could march them to Manila, considering the fact that they don't have too far to go. Though what I might do here then is have them move via strategic command. Well, strategic movement. But I'd say, yeah, I'd say that this is fine. Let's take a look. Are they unrestricted? Yes, they're unrestricted, so they can move without any issues. That's good. Okay, we're going to have them move towards Manila, and we're going to look at how we can get these guys out of here. Right, set them all to that mode, and set them to follow. There we go. Let's see, what do we actually have here then in terms of actual assets? Obviously that is a lot of submarines. Even, yeah, okay, so they were just the ones that were just in port then. Okay, so that is Task Force 452. So everything that isn't 452 then. We'll start from the bottom then. Turns out we have far more submarines than we would have imagined here. There we go, that's another 25 there. So we have 50 on their way. That's an incredible amount. And we have yet more. There we go. That seems about right. There we go, so that is another 19 submarines that will be heading out to Hiroshima. So in reality, we have more submarines than we can actually shake a stick at. Right, they'll make their way north. In Manila itself then, obviously I do need a certain amount to actually maintain the airfields here, but if we take a look then. At Manila. Aviation support is, yeah, I think that is, I think we have some support there that we can actually spare, because that is an insane number there. Absolutely colossal. I don't think there's going to be an issue with that at all, really. So that's very good. We're going to need all the logistical elements here. Quite nice. We'll take a look at the US Army as well. Obviously the Marine Corps. And really take a look at what we can actually send to Hokkaido. Armor would function very well in the clear terrain. Okay, wow. Let's take a look over here. Yep, take a look at all those escort carriers. We also do have quite a few battleships out here, as well as, yeah, plenty of surface assets then. Very nice. Okay, so what we are going to do here then is set up pretty much a bombardment mission. We'll run them as a air attack, well, air combat mission, obviously with the battleships in support, as the CVEs will be the main part of this force here. How many CVEs do I have then? 39. My lord, that's a huge number. Absolutely massive number. So what we'll do then is we'll begin to set up really these forces here, as they will be the components that will protect the actual landings. But yeah, the sheer amount of escort carriers does give us a really nice degree cover, and we are going to more than likely need that, considering that Japan is going to be throwing hundreds of kamikaze flights at us. It's going to be rather intriguing. Okay, that works for me. So we have quite a few battleships here. Oh, here's a few more actually. I was thinking that I'm sure I had like 39, not like that many. Right, create another one here. Air combat. Does anybody in the chat have any questions here so far? Any suggestions? Anything you think we might want to try? Ah, that's in Task Force 85. Okay. Yep, there we go. So we have all the escort carriers. Right, let's take a look at the battleships then. So we have 11 battleships here. Very good, man. That's going to be quite handy. So we have 4 carrier forces then, so we can share these out fairly evenly, give or take. It's not going to be amazingly even, but not be too bad. I mean, obviously we can't have like 0.75 of battleships, so we'll just have like 3 and 1, and then yeah, that'll be fine. 12 ships there. And do we know where the majority of the Japanese armor is deployed on the home islands? Honestly, don't have a clue where their armor is. I don't know really if that armor is going to be terribly much of a threat, but obviously it would be something to bear in mind, as it would be preferable that we don't have to fight it. But I'm sure it'll be all from the remaining elements of the Japanese army. Yeah, the Imperial Army. Right, there we go. So we have 25 heavy cruisers. It's just... Ah, 25 heavy cruisers and light cruisers then. Okay, that's not too bad. Almost too many assets here. Yeah, and Japanese armor. Take that up to 20. Late war Japanese armor wasn't too bad, it just never got deployed. Got deployed off the home island. Fair enough. There we go. Obviously just fill this out then with destroyers, and then we'll have our surface force as well. Technically the carrier groups over here, but obviously they're going to be mostly surface assets. The good news is they'll be covered from the air, but we'll be needing them to obviously bombard the enemy into submission. It will be quite handy to have that option, but we'll always need surface assets to actually protect the landings and to protect our actual logistics train. Right, there we go. I mean, you take a look. So each one of them has roughly in the area of like, I don't know, something in the region about up to about 250 aircraft, give or take. So you can see that we have in that force there about 1,000 aircraft, which is a ridiculously large amount. Right, Bearcats, plenty of fighters then. Okay, so escort. Have them run a 30% combat patrol. The actual airframes, I mean, this is it. The issue is not really altitude or range. It's more so trying to figure out what altitude the Japanese will be flying at. So set all carrier fighters in this hex to the same settings here. We'll want to obviously set some to night attacks as well, but to night. Okay, Avengers. According to the wiki, the OI experimental super heavy tank had 3 turrets and weighed 120 tons, required a crew of 111 men. 11 men. So it's basically a Japanese Beyblade. Oh dear. Okay, these Avengers. Okay, that's not too bad. Torpedo or bombs, that's fairly nice. They both, well, they have the radar. Very handy. $10,000 feet for the torpedo bombers. So actually, about 80,000 feet would be fine. Yeah, we're not on naval attack, just rest. There we go. Right, so that's a rough and ready organization of those assets. Now, let's see. What do I have in terms of actual transportation assets? Oh yeah, plenty. Do we have any... Yep, we do. Awesome. Right, amphibious. LS. Let's take a look at capacity. Okay, so not many with major capacity. There we go. Large capacity there. It's basically like a passenger ship for the most part. There we go. We'll get down to the ones that only have... Well, actually, I might as well chuck them all in. There we go. More the merrier. Right, we'll want, obviously, some cargo capacity. There we go, bring this train up. Throwing destroyers now. There we go, so 100 ships there. Right, let's see what we actually have available here. Hello there, Ravenlook. How you doing, my friend? So we do have quite a few elements of US Marine Corps armor over here then. And these guys are very good, so we have Stuart tanks there, M4s, very handy. Can I get this from Steam yet? Unfortunately not yet on Steam. It is available over on the Matrix store page, so don't worry about that, you can still find it. Okay, the 112th Cavalry Regiment. Cavalry, medium machine guns, heavy machine guns, mortars, okay. Right, infantry, we have quite a few divisions over here, that would be very handy. We might go ahead and actually load up the... See, this is going to be the interesting thing here. Let's do a little bit of comparison between the actual US Army divisions and the Marine divisions then. So, let's see here. So the 27th Division seems like a better armed division. Yeah, they definitely have more troops and more cargo here. As you can see, the Marines have about half, well, nearly half of that. So let's take a look at the 27th Infantry Division here, the US Army's 27th Division. So, we can see here M26 Pershing tanks, very nice. 81mm mortars, we have M4 close support tanks, so I don't know whether they're the 105mm armed Shermans, or whether they might be Shermans with the flamethrowers. I'm not entirely sure really what it could be comprised of there. So obviously if some of you know there, what would be considered an M4 CS tank then at this stage in the war? You know what I mean, basically that designation. I'm assuming it is close support, it might not necessarily be so. 105mm howitzers, 155mm howitzers. And let's take a look in comparison to the Marine Division. Okay, US Marine Corps Rifle Squads, medium machine guns, heavy machine guns, combat engineers, AAs, yep, AT guns, mortars, plenty of howitzers, but yeah, M7 Priest, self-propelled artillery. Yeah, so we can see here... Ooh, rocket artillery, US assault squads. So you can see the main difference here is the fact they have markedly... Actually, we can take a look here. So, infantry, vehicles, and guns. Second line. So, 125 vehicles, compare that to the 27th. Yeah, the 27th has more than double the amount of vehicles there. Similar amount of guns, but yeah, what I love here is about how these divisions work. It's like you take a look and you have a very large formation here, but only a third of that is actually your frontline combat, and 2/3 of that is really your logistics and re-elements there, basically your support elements. So you can see that for the most part, the US infantry divisions are the stronger ones when it actually comes to the actual main fight, and obviously the prolonged combat. But the Marine Corps are obviously built to actually, well, the Marines aren't they? They're obviously built to invade an enemy shore and secure it. So, what we'll do here then is actually take that into account then. So we'll load up elements of the, well then again, we'll use these Marine Corps out here at some point. We might even use them to invade potentially Foremost or even to secure additional islands. And what we'll begin by doing here then is loading up the 27th Division and the 7th Infantry Division. We have the 96th Division as well, we'll load them up too. Okay, now what I'm going to be looking forward to is, let's take a look then. So cargo load available, 252,000 tons. So far used 61,000 tons. We have 28,000 tons used of troop capacity, so we have 97,000 in total. Okay. So what we'll do here then, the CS might be an M4, yeah, right, yeah, okay, so the 105mm armed howitzer, that makes sense. You can see why it really come in quite handy here. Right, we'll take a look for the actual headquarters that are assigned to, if it is indeed here. So, they're assigned to various calls here then. Let's take a look. I can't sort them, well, we'll sort them by type. Right, we'll grab this one here. In fact, I'll grab two of these cores. They're not too heavy, are they? In fact, they're not very heavy at all, so might as well grab them. Okay. Plenty of engineers here. We'll get these guys loaded up. Amphibious. Naval support, that's going to be very handy. All these base forces, then, very good. Okay, we'll load up the armor and artillery then. Right, we are at the limit there. What we'll do here then is actually drop some of these units over here. So I'll drop these units. 2 of these base forces to give me another 12,000 tons of capacity. Oh, so we only have, okay. So that is a coastal AA regiment. Not particularly amazing then, so I suppose we'll leave that there. And we'll pick up these forces. So a EAB, so Engineer Aviation Battalion. Okay. Artillery. Let's grab these base forces then. Okay, that puts us nicely on. Right, okay. Cavalry regiment. That works for me. Okay, so, yeah. Verify the load there. You should load on without any issues there. Unless they're only carrying the cargo elements. Allocated equipment. Seems like they're not allocated any troops then, it seems. Okay, so we'll begin to load up here then. There we go. So we'll have those troops made ready to move then. Once they're ready to move, we'll begin to move north and towards Hokkaido. I think we also need to try and put the... Ooh, we can actually see quite a few Japanese tankers, well, cargo ships out here. Let's move on a path to intercept them, actually. Well, then again, let's see here. Let's go through our submarines. I wonder here. So, list all active task forces? No. List all ships? Here we go, then. Let's take a look. Whew, there's a lot of submarines here. Damn, I wanted to see if I could go for the task forces then. List all active task forces. Yep, there we go. Submarine operations. Whole bunch of them. But what we're going to do... Is it not going to allow me? Oh, it is a cruel and harsh mistress to not allow me to do that. Okay, I thought it might be easy to go through there. It technically is, but there's a lot of submarines to go through. So what we'll do then is we'll select them out here and make sure they actually are set to react. I'm just impressed by the sheer amount of submarines here. Incredible numbers. But I'm very happy that the scenario does start with these submarines already deployed, otherwise it would have been quite the task. There we go. Right, superb. Almost done, actually. Which is quite nice. There we go. Don't you guys love the music? So very haunting when it gets to Japanese tracks. Right. So let's see here then. What I'm looking for mostly then is Right, so all of my ships here are actually signed. I love the fact that we actually get to see the Alaska class. They're really awesome. We do still have some carriers over here at Peleliu. Yeah, that would win solo. One over here in San Francisco. Yeah, quite a few over here in Peleliu. Ah, there we go. So we'll have them all assigned. Put together a task force as well then. There we go. Seems that we have a mix here of US forces as well as those of the Royal Navy. Ooh, Barracuda. Right, escort. These are bombers. Yeah, dive bombers. Right, naval attack. Fighter bomber. Night fighters, okay. I have to say what sort of altitude we should have them on. Obviously, we want to have like a multi-levered, leveled layer? Multi-layered layer, that's what I was looking for. Okay, fighters, yep. Fighter, yep. So I can see if we have any torpedo bombers here. Seems like we just have the dive bombers, but that's fine by me. Okay, so that force is ready there. So we'll have that begin to make its way over to Iwo Jima as well. We're going to need massive amounts of fuel here. Absolutely massive. So let's take a look at where our oilers are. Actually, not the ground forces. Obviously, that's not an oiler. Ships. Okay, whoops. Oilers. Okay, so we have quite a few at Guam. Plenty at Pearl Harbor. Actually, not as many oilers as you would imagine, but a fair few here. Granted, a few over here already. We'll get them beginning to load up. Plenty of fuel here. Replenishment. Right, there we go. Begin to load that fuel. Okay, now we're looking at Guam. The Pacific Gibraltar, as some would have wanted. Okay, so we already do have a task force, which is loading fuel. That's fine by me. There we go. Have them load that fuel up as well. It seems... Yeah. Okay, you've loaded fuel already. That is incredibly quick. Do I have any additional room in here? No, 25 ships. But you obviously do have some cruisers here, so that's fine. So we'll have you make your way towards Iwo Jima. So what we're going to be doing is moving north, really, from Iwo Jima. And yeah, we do have a direct path from Pearl Harbor at the moment. Okay. It's just getting the logistics behind it sorted out, really. And does anybody know where the cruise of the Oilers, US and or civilian? Wish I could answer that one, I do not know, so I'd be very interested to find out myself, actually. Okay. But that's good with that underway. Gives us plenty to work with. So we have two of our forces heading towards Ujima, whereas we have the Pearl Harbor force and its accompanying escort heading towards Hokkaido. So we should be able to look at within the next few weeks actually beginning to make our move upon Hokkaido. Now let's take a look at the actual weather here. Okay, so rather rough weather then for the most part. Okay. It'd be nice to actually see some interceptions over here. We should be able to pick them up, but we'll see how we go on then. So what we're going to do here then is begin to move forward into the next day. So ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your butts as we move forward then. I'm going to be quite interested to see what sort of success that we, well, what sort of success we can have over Tokyo. That would be nice. If we have, I mean, the thing is, they do have remarkably good defensive fire, but they are going to be in a position where, well, they are going to be coming under, well, attack, aren't they? So do need to watch out for that. There we go. Right, they do stray due to the night, okay. I mean, this is obviously the issue here with the night bombing. Seems like a lot of that is going to happen. Now, I mean, to be honest, we could actually do this during the day. Yeah, we might actually change tactics and just do this during the day then. Obviously at night we do have a greater chance of survival, so we'll see really. Forgive the little bit of animation bug there. Hello there, Freya. Yeah, we actually do make it in with all 9 of them, so that's good news then. Our question is going to be, do we actually deal any damage? That's what I really need to find out here. If we're not dealing damage, then obviously it's not the correct altitude, so we'll see here. 3 of them damaged. Do we actually deal any damage here? It might be due to the fact that we're not putting down enough munitions. It seems that maybe we could do an actually decreasing the altitude further. Right, currently 29,000 feet, so are we flying at 30,000 feet? Oh, 25,000 feet, okay. See, I'm a little bit worried if we go down to 20,000 feet, are we just going to be too low and therefore open to plenty of attack? We may consider actually running these attacks in the day rather than at night. That may lead to us actually being more successful. We can actually see that we did cause one of these duties to be set aflame here, so that's quite good. Yeah, these B-29, 25s are very well protected. Well, these guys are the B-29Bs, which have some phenomenal range. And pretty good defensive fire for the most part. Okay. Question is, did we deal any damage? One of our planes was damaged, okay. It doesn't seem as if we're dealing damage here to the ground target, but we might consider changing it to day attacks. We'll see how it goes on, really. Yep, made it through there. It may be that we just have to build up these attacks over time to really see that damage increase. And these are very large targets that we're hitting here. I might open the game in full screen mode actually, just to make sure we don't have these animation bugs. Ooh, we destroyed one of them. Yeah, I think after this turn I'll save it and then open it up in the actual full screen, and then we have no animation bugs. Unless it doesn't bother you guys, it's up to you guys. I like to have it in window so I can actually use the drawing tool. The bombers do seem to be performing quite well. I can't seem to find this game in the store. 1 second, my friend. There we go, my friend. Put that in the chat for you. Don't worry, mind, dude. You're more than welcome. Okay, let's speed up these ones here. Yeah, I mean, plenty of them are straying here due to the night. I think it might be... I don't know. What do you guys reckon? Do we attempt this in the day? I don't think it's too much of a difference. But if we actually do see our results improve, then it obviously would be worthwhile to do it in the day. Though, I do wonder... Maybe we actually go for 20,000 feet during the actual night, due to the fact that we actually have that... well, yeah, I'd say we'll try maybe 20,000 feet at night. I could even try them at 25,000 feet in the day. Yeah, we're attempting to actually hit the engine industry here at the moment. Well, the aircraft industry. Specifically the actual engine production plants. Okay, there we go. Thank you for following the channel there, Fire Tim. Thank you very much. Why not stay and find out, sir? Oh dear. Okay. We'll see if our submarines pick up anything here. We do only have 3% moonlight, so not particularly the best. Obviously, that would explain as well why a lot of our guys are actually straying off from their targets. And obviously there's not much moonlight. Just trying a few of the Japanese search planes there. That's what I like to see. Right, apparently Japanese torpedo bombers out there by the Philippines. That's rather intriguing. I'd imagine they're probably flying out from Formosa. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Like I said, the best thing to do is obviously just ask Matrix about it and post on the forum. I think the reason they don't have it on actual Steam is due to the fact that there might not actually be a large enough audience for it there. Okay. Right, so we can see plenty of KI-423 for Oscars here, as well as the 3Bs, or is it the 2Bs? I can't quite read that. I think it's the 2B there. Thunderbolts and Warhawks. Okay, quite the air battle there. I mean, 67 Oscars, obviously not including the 2Bs there. Yep, we can see that the Japanese are absolutely trounced there. Plenty destroyed. Unescorted bombers withdraw then, okay. We might catch some of them, yep we do. V62N Agils. N2As. Yeah, I feel bad for those guys. 7 of them are destroyed. Interesting to see the Ki-67s out here. Yeah, that's not good. Okay, forgot about that one, didn't we, from last time? So we'll have to obviously adjust that. I think they're coming from Saigon. Yep, sweeping over Palembang. Yeah, good luck to these guys. Huge, huge numbers. Oh wow, look at all those planes there. Wow, okay. There's quite a few planes there destroyed to the ground. Fantastic. We can see that 24 of our Liberators were damaged there. 6 of our B-29-25s are damaged. Only one of the P-38L Lightnings actually destroyed there, unfortunately. But we do deal quite a lot of damage there. I can see quite a lot of actual hits on the runway. So yeah, that's quite a nice result there. And to say that Takao is a very large airfield as well, size 8 airfield, quite large, one of the largest in the actual area. We will have to switch up tactics and actually start hitting Saigon soon with some forces if they're available to do so, however. Hello there, Ragha. How you doing, my friend? When do you finish your original playthrough? Do you mean the one on my channel, or do you mean the one I do for Matrix? Okay, skip the results here. Let's see how we do. Oh yeah, very good. Oh, we haven't finished the one on the actual channel. Of course, I do stream for Matrix on a Friday, so I'm hoping to actually continue the Operation Olympic series for them on Fridays, actually. I think it's quite interesting. We do get to take a look at a very late war scenario here, another very late war alternate history scenario here as well. But of course, for those of you who do not know, I'm doing a play-by-email game of One of the Pacific Admirals edition as the Imperial Japanese Empire against a historical gamer on my own channel. Rather interesting. We've only just reached the 1st of January 1942, so all yet to play for, and it's definitely started to heat up. But yep, great result there. We can see plenty of aircraft destroyed on the ground, and that's very good news. I mean, we need to keep ramping up the damage. You can take a look at that 86% airfield damage there. Obviously, probably not quite correct. It's obviously an estimation there. Ooh, these A-26s, yeah, they'll be able to make it through, drive off the enemy there with a defensive fire. Good job. Though only one George there destroyed on the ground, it's more so about increasing the amount of damage here. Yep, some more hits on the runway. That's what I like to see. Right, so we can see some lilies here. Don't worry about it, Grip Dog. The best thing you can do, and the easiest way you can actually do it, is if you take a look in the playlist and just watch the first episode of... Yeah, well, the first part of each episode, you'll be able to catch up pretty quickly. Right, so you can see the Japanese are transferred again. Okay, more Helens coming in, but we see quite a lot of Spitfires respawned here, along with Battle Fighters and Hurricanes. Yeah, I feel bad for these Helens. A couple of them do make it through. Yeah, but more are destroyed there. No allied losses. Also, we do see some light damage there to the actual airfield, but yeah. Good luck to them indeed, really. Okay, so we start to get a grip on the actual air game here. I wouldn't say that. I mean, THG is a very good player. I mean, I've had to learn really quite a lot. I mean, I made some terrible mistakes in the opening part of the actual campaign, so I suppose in some ways it's good that they were made early, so at least I can actually learn from them. Quite a lot of the HAK, is it HAK2s? Yeah, and those are very formidable flayed planes there. Very nice. But we are shooting them down, which is good news. See, I do wonder at this point what is left of the Imperial Navy. I don't think there would be very much left, really. Right, but attempted to hit Okinawa again, but we should be able to see them off. The P-47N Thunderbolt, it's just... it's so very good. Right. Indeed, I know as a massive, massive fan of baseball. Okay. Yep, so we do manage to destroy quite a lot of the Imperial Japanese there. That's very good. Wow, okay, so you can see unescorted bombers. Yep, we'll grab quite a few of them here. Very good. Yeah, pretty much. Oh wow, only 2 of them destroyed here, so they got out of that fairly well. Ooh, a hit in Patan Island. Right, and the pain continues at Takao. Few more aircraft destroyed on the ground, but we do increase the amount of hits on the air base there. So as you can see, the amount of damage there is 58%. Obviously, we saw that previously up at like 90-odd%. So it's not quite accurate the amount of actual damage inflicted there. We'll obviously keep it going on and on throughout the days as the weeks go by, and really just drive them out of Takao. And the good news is we are continuously destroying aircraft on the ground, so they don't have an infinite amount of aircraft here. These squadrons will be losing a lot of morale too. Wow, just a single Corsair. No wonder they made it through. Okay, so we can see some sub-chases out here. Yep, obliterated by a direct hit from a 1,000-pound bomb. I'm not surprised there. Okay, so we'll save it once the game turn actually ends, then I'll reopen it in full screen mode, and then we won't have any animation jumping around. Okay. Right, we'll save the game here and reopen it. Now we're going to just quickly save it. Right, just make sure that is done. Always reminds me of Tom Hanks, I'm not gonna lie. I can't be the only one who thinks Tom Hanks there. Yeah, right. Right, there we go. Just close the other. There we go. Right, so here we are, open in full screen. Tom Hanks isn't complete without his Wilson buddy. I know, right? Okay. So at least now we won't have to worry about the actual animation issues there, which is quite good. Quite good indeed. Okay, so for the most part, we do have most of our forces under wraps, which is good. Right, I need to take out the actual bombers over here at Saigon. That's going to be one of our concerns here. As you can see, the shipping over here at Miri is actually taking hits. Yeah, but only a very small land though. Return the small ship to the pool there. Don't think we'll actually need it. Yeah, so return to the pool. LCMs as well. One of these patrol frigates. Okay, Australian. Surface combat. Yeah, one of them's taking some heavy damage there. Okay, we do have some fighters here. Ooh, wow, yep. Yep, these P-51s are fantastic. What are we looking at in terms of, like, air capacity there? Aviation support is 75, okay. 244 over here. What we'll do then is we'll have them escort, but we'll run them on long-range combat patrol. So we'll run them at about 50-50. There we go. About 20,000 feet. Now, they don't actually have the drop tank, so they'll probably still have the range. Honestly, I would have preferred them to have had more. Yeah, 4 hexes, that's fine. There we go. We'll run some combat patrol there. I do have some fighter bombers here. Okay, some patrol aircraft. The ocean. Right, now question is, do we continue the actual tacit cow? Kind of been neutralized for the most part. We can obviously continue the attacks from Okinawa. What we'll do is we'll take the actual aircraft over here at Clark. It's really the B-29s we're looking at. The B-24J's 20 hex range. Just out of range there. Okay, the B-29s. B-29s? Yeah, B-29. Target Saigon. Now we'll need an escort here. P-38 don't quite have that range. Now let's see, I could have them potentially transferred to Singapore. Yeah. Not looking particularly great then on range. It may be very well the case that we run them at 20,000 feet and allow them really to go in under their own steam. It's not great, but I mean there's 57 of the bastard, so it should be alright. You take a look at that gun value there, 36, that's incredible, and they're very, very durable. I mean, 70 durability is pretty phenomenal. Yeah, we compare that to X26 Invader. The Liberator is durable, but not as durable. She doesn't have the actual gun value. Yeah, these guys are fantastic. They're very complex to maintain, though. You can see they're more complex to maintain than the B-24 Liberators. So yeah, we'll hope for the best there. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. Okay, let's take a look at the actual B-29-25s over here, then. I think that actually, yeah. I just can't not get over the actual range here of these guys. That is immense. Okay, so we'll try this then. We'll try it in the day about 20,000 feet. I think we'll probably be able to manage this due to the sheer number of them. Yeah, these mass B-29 raids should be able to manage it. Indeed, time to unleash the Kraken. We'll hit the engine plants in Mabashi. Well, actually, not Mabashi. It's a Gifu. Plenty of engine factories over here at Gifu. Well, actually, let's see Tokyo, perhaps. Yeah, the Nakajima HA-45s. There we go. We'll go for a mass raid then. Seems we'll have to double check these. Kraken. Right, the B-32s. They're out of range of Tokyo. So what I could do with these B-32s then is actually have them transferred to Clark in the Philippines. There you go, the 90th can transfer to Clark. There we go. That works for me. Love the name there, B-32 Dominator. Such a name. We'll hit Saigon hard. Okay. I wish I could change it from here. I really wish I could. I was suggesting that in an alternate dimension, one sort of fleets are sunk in the Imperial Japanese Navy is desperate. They have a secret weapon. A giant squid with mind controlling equipment, big enough to throw aircraft carriers around, and control the Imperial Japanese Emperor with his mind controlling equipment. It's squids all the way down, baby. Calamari all the way to the root. I don't know why that actually amused me. I think I amused myself with that one more than anything. I don't know why. I was laughing actually in my head. The ones with the crazy explosive animal plan were actually the US Marines, which debated the use of incendiary bats over Tokyo. The plan fell through as the A-bombs were ready to be tested. There we go. Okay, is that all of them from the night operations? Just one more group here. Yeah, Sky Captain has to create some fried calamari. You know, I can't say I've ever had good calamari. I've had calamari, but yeah, I don't think I've ever had good calamari. You know, that sort of thing where you think, yeah, that was good, I could go for that again. So it's been, like, intensely average. I'm sure you guys will appreciate that tidbit from my life, huh? Okay, there we go. So we've got the B-29 raid set up there, the B-32 raids from Clark. We're running P-51s over Borneo. Yeah, it is very hard to get right. It is very hard to get right. Not that I have a clue how to do it. Quite a lot of destroyers there. Interesting. What are the Japs up to? Ooh, I don't imagine that was fun. Okay, there we are. TF3 has arrived. So waiting for the other task force there, we also do need to move in one large group. Yeah, making our way from Midway. Towards Midway, I should say. Yeah, you're right. Okie dokie. We may even use the additional submarines that we have available to actually, if potentially further consolidate control of the East China Sea, but it might be worthwhile just to have them really. I don't know, this is it. We have over 50 bloody submarines. It's an immense amount. Okay, let's take a look at the actual weather reports here then. So, overcast, okay. What do we have in terms of actual reinforcements then? So, ship availability. ETA. Right, additional submarines in a few days. Some destroyers, okay. Yep, looking forward to having the Midway. The Midway is going to be incredible. Absolutely incredible. 137 aircraft, that's an amazing amount. She has a fantastic AA complement. Very good. Her speed is very good too. Very, very excited to see her come into action. Right. We will eventually actually gain jet towards the end of the scenario, actually. It's going to be super interesting. If I take a look at the group, not withdrawal, but group reinforcement, let's see, fighters. Ah, here we go, P-80 Shooting Stars. Looking forward to getting these guys in action. That's going to be super exciting. I mean, their range is not particularly amazing, but it's obviously going to be the speed that they're going to be useful for. Very good. Okay. Thank you very much for that, Pixel. That's really considerate of you. Right. So we're going to go forward into the next turn here, then. P-80s never saw World War II action as far as I know. Same as the pattern tanks that were released in the field, but too little too late. Yep, I mean, obviously as this scenario does go on to 1946, we should actually see them in, well, really in combat. Which would be quite exciting. I would be rather intrigued to see really how they would affect the combat, really. Yeah, I can imagine the F-86. I mean, this is it, obviously, they do burn through their fuel very, very quickly. Oh, yes, right, the Pershing tanks, okay. Yeah, we do have Pershings actually in our infantry divisions, so they will be put to action pretty soon, actually. We'll have to take a look at the number of aircraft that have been shot down so far, actually. There's been quite a lot of aircraft shot down so far. But it's really impressive at this stage of the war just how many aircraft are being produced. It's incredible. I mean, these losses are just something that could not be possibly sustained in the opening days of the war. Also, that T-28, the American one mentioned yesterday, only a prototype. Indeedy. Yep, here we go. The Mustangs are going to be in... Ooh, A6M8s. Oscars as well, wow. Dive in there. Okay, two A6M8s destroyed there, but we do also see 3 P-51s there destroyed. Man, I'd love to lose. You know, that is the only game I've ever bought 4 separate times. It's actually really crazy. Like, I had it on the actual console. So I bought it the first time, played it, completed it, bought it again. Yeah, played, completed it again, played it, played multiplayer, yeah, okay. Got rid of it again. Then thought, you know what, I kind of missed Ruse, and then bought it again. Did the same thing again. Then bought it goddamn again, and then my friends were at that point saying, like, why don't you just keep the game? I'm like, you know what, it's probably a wise idea. I don't know, I really did enjoy that game. It's really cool. Wow, okay. 14 Helens destroyed there. That was really impressive. Interesting to see that we do see sea fires actually brought into that battle. Yep, obviously that would have been the actual British carriers arriving there. Yep, played End War as well. Loved End War. The other thing with End War is the multiplayer is kind of broken. It's like if you're a new player to End War, yeah, you're kind of buggered. Hello there, gamer. 1745. A good year. Yeah, see... I'm not a big fan of Steel Division. I might give Steel Division 2 a go. Lots of aircraft here. Okay. Loved it for fighting over the maps and who had the most wins. Yeah, I think this is it. I don't know, I might give it another go in the future. It's like, yeah, as Commissar Roach says, it's a bit too shallow. I wasn't a massive fan of, I don't know, it's one of these things. It just seemed to miss a whole, just all of the intricacies of all the tactics, really. It just, I don't know, it seemed more representative of sort of like modern warfare, that sort of like fast-paced sort of stuff. Right, I can see quite a lot of A6, well, it's quite a lot of Japanese fighters that are destroyed, which is quite good. Okay, yep, additional ones over Singapore. I might move the carriers into Singapore there, just to actually add their combat air patrol to the actual defences there. We might actually use the fighters and the bombers there for the carrier force just outside of Singapore to actually hit the airfield at Palembang. Yeah, very true. Only a few P-51s there, but not too bad. Wow. Okay, wow. Okay. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, place your bets. Which model of Japanese fighter aircraft is gonna have the best shot at this? That is a lot of aircraft. Okay, so let's see. We have the K-84 Frank. I'm going to say probably the Frank or the Sam. Oh, we actually do lose a B-29 there. So, yeah, they can hit us at this altitude. But I think we are going to have to go there. You didn't escort your bombers. The thing is, these B-29s are actually flying out from Saipan, Guam, and Tinian. We do not have an aircraft that has range enough to actually escort them. They are their own escort for the most part. Yeah, we can handle this. Easy, that one that can ram the bombers. Yeah. The B-51 perhaps, we'll double check and make sure that they might have the range, but I don't think they have the range of the B-29s. We'll see. Even so, we do have formidable defensive fire here, and yeah, there's over 160 bombers. That is a huge amount there. It may be that we switch tactics to hit the actual airfield, but we'll see. Yeah, I do like myself some Armoured Brigade. I felt so bad though, because the first actual unveiling stream I did of Armoured Brigade turned out so bad because I wasn't aware that amphibious movement wasn't in the game at that point, so I'm like, ah, shiza, I've just made the developers look bad here by mistake. And I made myself look bad. Very bad. Oh well. It was amusing nonetheless. There's another B-29 down there. Oh my god, they actually do have K-27s in here. Jesus. Yeah, they have nothing there. Yep, there we go, and actually hitting the city now. Maybe the P-38s. We'll have a look. We'll have a look actually after the turn's ended. We'll take a look and see what sort of fight we could use in an escort then. You know what? I really want to learn how to play CMANO. I did before, but I lost. I forgot how you play, but I'd like to play that. I always enjoyed the actual submarine scenarios. I think there's a scenario where you have one United States submarine, well, US submarine versus about 4 Soviet submarines, and that was really interesting. That was really tense. Yeah, biblical levels of destruction. Right, wow, just look at those numbers there. The the K-27's like, please help, I need to help, but yeah, they have no chance. Okay, so 3 planes actually destroyed there, but about 30 damage, but the damage isn't too bad. We do score 19 hits on the Nakajima HA-34 facility. Don't quite think that was the facility I was targeting. I think these guys might have been, where did these guys actually come from? So these guys are attacking Bashi. I forget which base they're from, but yeah, we should have another raid coming. Yeah, I don't like the fact that they're on their own. It seems like we do lose a few of them there. Yeah, 7 destroyed, 18 damage. So we can't really afford them to go in on their own. Silent Service. I think I've heard about that one. Is that an actual expansion, or is that a separate game? It sounds interesting nonetheless. Ah, right, okay. I'd like to... Oh, the Silent Hunter series, yeah. It's just a shame that I think it was Silent Hunter 5 just didn't work quite right. Okay. Right, so numbers there. So we do lose a B-32, but we do destroy quite a few bombers on the ground here. How many hits? Good hits there, good hits. Okay, another... Yeah, that's a lot of B-29s going in here. Yeah, I've actually seen Wolfpack, I think it is. Yeah, is it Wolfpack? I've seen U-Boat. But I've not seen Wolfpack. Could you do me a favour there, Commissar Roche, and could you actually send me a link to that on Discord? I don't think I've actually had a Wolfpack. I'm just kind of intrigued now. Okay. So, 2 aircraft destroyed on the ground there, 1 B-29-25 destroyed, 8 damaged. Cheers, thank you very much there, mate. A few hits on the actual airfield here, very good. We'll have to build up this damage over time. Nimitz ordered LeMay to bomb airfields in Japan to take out the final bases. Yeah, you can really appreciate why. It took them only a decade. I like that one. There we go, now we're dealing some damage. Yeah, that's looking like a firestorm. You know, I'll have to take a look at the shifting sands, and I do want to learn how to play CMNAO. LOOLRP. Sounds like I can go for like the bloody Sesame Street alphabet there. Yeah. Actually, not as bad as I feared. I'm not gonna lie, I did think that was gonna be worse. Wow! Holy moly! Wow, okay. I'd say that's probably the biggest raid I've ever seen of a single aircraft type. Jesus. Wow. 300... What the hell? We see a jet over here as well. The KI-201. Okay, now things are getting interesting. So we actually see the Japanese using, it looks like a, Messerschmitt, is it Messerschmitt? 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 I can't remember how you pronounce it now. Messerschmitt, 262? ME 262 there. Yeah, I know, right. 300 bombers there. Holy moly. Yep, there was a jet. You know, I'm going to be rather interested when it comes to the KO-201s. Ah, Messerschmitt, that's it. I'm just really bad when it comes to pronunciations. Yeah, there were some German-Japanese plans to ship ME-262 engines into parts of Japan so we could build them. I suppose in this alternate history scenario we could say that, well, could theorize that potentially the Soviets have allowed some German equipment to make it through. I mean, that could be a rather interesting scenario there. I mean, it could be perhaps the Soviets have allowed German equipment to make it through to Japan. I mean, the end of the day, it would make some sense that Japan was using some German equipment to actually hide the fact that the Soviets are actually trying to aid the Japanese here. They ship the parts by a submarine, indeed. Okay, let's take a look at this then in the end. 291. Down from 312 or 20 though, so that's interesting. I can't believe the sheer size of that raid. Massive raid there. Who will be hosting tomorrow's stream? You know what? I'm honestly not entirely sure. I don't know what's on tomorrow. I mean, I'm going out drinking tomorrow night, so probably not me. I say drinking, I might have a glass of wine. I'm really not much of a fan of a drink. See, this is what happens when you manage a pub for about 2 years. You kinda, you just don't want to touch the actual merchandise, do you, really? Yeah, that flak is hurting. Wow, okay, wow. That might be why we're losing planes here. That is some incredible numbers of aircraft there. I think these lower raids in the day just probably aren't advisable. Yeah. Huge raid there, but huge response by the actual Japanese there. 136 K-43-4s. We do see plenty, 42 jets there. Let's see, how many, wow, yeah. So 40 aircraft destroyed there, 93 damage. So we can see here that, yep. We do not want to be attempting that again. It did, what did we manage in terms of actual hits? Yeah. Well, we did hit, the Nakajima HA-45 facility there 65 times. So it did inflict some, heavy damage there. But yeah, we cannot afford to do that again. That is just far too risky there. The jets especially. We might attempt this at 25,000. Well, we might attempt 20,000 feet at night, but we cannot do that at, in the day. Right, well, further 117 bombers there. They'll probably get mauled. Yep, quite a few of them shot down. Actually, not too bad there. 6 destroyed, 72 damage. We can wait for that. Additional few hits there. Ooh, don't be going in alone. Well, in lower numbers, I suppose. Not too bad, another 6 hits. 6 hits. Oh, Stoic Frog, he's pretty damn good. 2 destroyed, another 5 hits. Another 9 hits. Four hits. Jesus, I can't believe how many bombers we actually have here. There we go. Okay, so we did inflict a lot of damage to Tokyo, but we can say, safely say that we can't really afford to do that again. I mean, the difficulty is if we fly at night, we lose a lot of the actual accuracy. We lose, well, a lot of the actual planes do separate as well. Yeah, the Franks. I think it's probably jets there that really hurt. Oh yeah, he definitely has the night fighters. But obviously they're not as numerous as the the actual fighters, the day fighters, so not too bad really. I think we'll just have to take a look really towards the night. Yeah, plenty of aircraft lost there in the raids over Tokyo. But at least we did deal heavy damage to the actual engine production facility there. So that is going to take the Japanese some time to recover. It may be that we just focus on hitting the airfields in Tokyo. We don't even really particularly have to target Tokyo, but yeah, wow, plenty of planes there destroyed to the ground again, fantastic. Keeping up the pressure to cow. Yep, more aircraft destroyed on the ground there. Yeah, I mean we're going to be hitting, well, ultimately looking towards invading Hokkaido. So, yeah. That's quite a lot of liberators there. We're actually looking towards actually invading Hokkaido. Yeah. I mean, this is a historically tougher Japan as well. There's going to be no atomic bomb. There is Soviets. Well, I mean, obviously they've retained Korea. And obviously the Soviets are aiding them to a degree. Ooh, more raids over Tokyo. Whoosh. Though they actually do get in and get out, so that's good then. So you can see another 3 hits there. I think it might be some time to actually wait before our B-29s are ready to go again, because a lot of them are taking damage. So we'll take a look at their status in the following turn. But we have dealt a lot of damage to the actual engine production facility there. That is a lot of damage. Ooh, okay, here we go. Barracuda. So these would be the planes from the British carriers. No kill like overkill, yep, definitely. The best form of kill. Yeesh. Not pretty. Okay, so no allied losses, and yeah, quite a few vessels there are destroyed. Whoa! Okay, wow! Okay, wow! I'm not gonna lie, I'm quite surprised about that. I mean, who amongst you actually anticipated that we'd sink nearly 6,000 Japanese troops there? Because I sure as hell did not expect that. Yeah, take a look at those numbers there. 492 non-combatants. That's a whole hell of a lot of Japanese logistics there. Holy moly. What the hell were they doing? Were these reinforcements? Were these actually trying to escape Formosa? But either way, they're never making it out of Formosa. So, holy moly, that looks like it had left a mark. Yeah, wow. That did indeed look like it'd leave a mark. Seafires here coming to engage the K-7. That was quite lucky there. So Victorious almost did take a torpedo there. We did manage to make it, so that was very good there. Very good. Nice response there by the actual fighters. Okay, so we learned some lessons the essential turn here. We can't afford to really bomb Tokyo in the day, who'd have thought it. But I didn't anticipate 40 jets. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't anticipate 40 jets. There we go, marching, that's good to see. Our forces from Manila should be actually ready to go soon. That's good news. Yep, not gonna lie, so that was quite a bloody turn for both sides there, really. I mean, how do we go about the situation? Do we try to hit Tokyo's airfields at night, or do we just ignore Tokyo and potentially... yeah, we might focus on Aminato, and considering that really... yeah, we'll concentrate over here to the north, perhaps. It might be worthwhile to actually give our aircrew some time to rest over at Guam, Tinian, Saipan. Okay, and let's take a look at the air losses that we suffered in the last turn there. Right, aircraft losses. Yeah, that... and I think that's in... yeah, that's a huge amount of losses there. Cannot really be attempting that again. No, sir. Yeah, 145 went down there, 23 to flag, 9 to operational. Huge amount of losses there. So yeah, that is not the altitude that we should be flying at then. We've understood that one now. It is a shame, but we'll recover those losses. I mean, how many do we actually have in the pool here? That's a question. Not that. Intelligence reports. Ah, there we go. Aircraft replacement pool. Are they heavy bombers? Yeah, okay. In the pool. B-29s. Yeah, we actually don't have many of the pool here, so we've actually used them here. We do replace them at a rate about... the B-17s are about 135 per month. B-29s, yeah. We don't have the numbers to throw out like that again, so we cannot actually do that again. At all. Far too painful. Yeah, if we take a look here, then... I mean, the Japanese have lost 125 planes, well, 525 planes so far, but we lost 243. Though today, 193 of those losses. So, yeah, we can clearly see that. But I have a whole bunch of political points, so that's quite nice to see. Right, the airfield's taking damage, that's good to see. Oh, I must have missed these guys. Hello there, Vane. How are you doing, my friend? Good to see you and welcome. Okay, so yeah, we'll take a look at our status of the forces there. Okay, so we have both forces. So we have Guam TF1 and Guam TF3 here. Fuel ain't bad. What we'll do here is replenish from the actual port. 10,000 units of fuel. That's a whole bunch of fuel there. I don't think there's enough operational points here. Yeah, that's fine. We'll have to wait there. Indeed. Right. Yep. Heavy losses there. Right, so... Let's take a look at the range. I mean, outside is actually out of range. We did do a lot of damage there to the actual engine plant, so that's quite nice. It's going to cost the Japanese quite a lot of actual supplies to repair that, and obviously quite a lot of time there as well. So ideally, that might indeed make a dent in the long run. We'll have to see about that one. We might look towards actually, like, softer targets, try and spend more of the Japanese air power. And this is it, we need to look at actually moving to a airfield closer by. Now, if we take a look at the suitability of Iwo-jima. So Iwo-jima has a size 4 airfield there, but she actually can't build it up any further. I mean, it's not bad, it's serviceable. Let's take a look then at Iwo-jima then. What do we have in terms of actual fighter cover here? P-51D Mustangs. So they do have a range of about 19 hexes here. Yeah, okay, fantastic. So we can actually escort our raids over Tokyo then. I feel... So it's my bad there. Didn't actually take a look at the fighter cover there. Okay, what do you guys reckon then? Do we fly 20,000 feet or do we fly 25,000 feet? I don't know. We might be able to get away with 30,000 feet in the day. Yeah, we'll give it a go about 30,000 feet in the day and see how that turns out with the flight escort. I'm not particularly keen on the actual, yeah. Jet. Right. So let's see here then. We'll obviously target Tokyo, but I think we'll have to... I think we'll go with the air attack. We'll attack the airfields. I think we must destroy the airfields here. I mean, if I can knock out air cover over Tokyo, then we can actually try to hit a lot of the vital infrastructure there. Right, set all level bombers here. 30,000 feet. Airfield attack. Over Tokyo. But yeah, we'll be running with escorts this time, so we'll be good to go. And we're all targeting the same target here as well, so we'll see what we can do with the sheer numbers. There we go. Right, let's take a look at what we have available then. P-47s. Yep, they also have the range there. Fantastic. Oh, fantastic. These guys, unfortunately, don't have the range. Yeah, that's a shame. Corsairs don't have the range. Yeah, they don't have the range, okay. So run 30,000 feet, the aircraft can actually manage 41,900 feet, so that's not bad at all. Amazing climb rate there. Okay, over Tokyo we go. All P-51D Mustangs use the same settings. P-51Hs. There we go. I mean, that's a huge amount of range there. Right, so we are going to be running with quite a formidable amount of escort. And of course, I could always take the P-38 Lightnings, for example. Actually, no, they don't actually have that range. Shame. That's really low. Right, we'll sweep over to Coward Night then. I can see that British carriers over here are doing well. Right, so patrol off the coast, I'd say somewhere around about here, actually. If we take a look at the AA value here, that is an incredible amount of AA. We'll do here as well as increase the amount of combat air patrol of our fighters to about 50. F-13 super fortresses. Let's run some reconnaissance over NATO. We'll actually just run some reconnaissance over Kishiro. Actually, no, Hakodate. Well, actually, no, over here. Fuck it. Indecisive there. Okay. Seems like we can have very high levels of detection over Tokyo. In fairness, then what we'll do here then is we'll grab all of our reconnaissance and have it over Tokyo. That's what we need. Okay, let's take a look at the status of our fleet over here. Yep. We'll go refuel at Midway first. Midway has... Yep, 20,000 units of fuel, that's enough. Have the AVDs load fuel... Well, sorry, supply. You're loaded fuel. That's good. Loading fuel. Yep, so I'm here as well. Still low on supplies, that's fine. Be ready to move out soon enough. Okay. Additional submarines are moving over that way. It's going to obviously take some time. Guam TF2 is actually taking a while to go over there. But she is armed with the Alaskas. The Alaska and the Guam. Lots of AA. Very, very effective AA. Okay, so let's take a look at our signal intelligence then. At least we hit in the airfield at Saigon. So let's take a look at the 7th Armored Division that arrives late, man. M26 Pershings, M24s, M36 Jacksons. Interesting to see that the M4s are kind of like ruled out out of these later. Yeah, I mean, you compare the 20th Armored Division to the 7th Armored Division, that is just primarily M26s, M24s, M36s. Not an M4 in sight over here. But look at those numbers there, 168 M26 Pershing tanks. That is a whole heap of trouble. So the forecast is currently clear skies over this area, but yeah. Thunderstorms to the north. Let's take a look at the weather over Tokyo then. So, the weather over Tokyo here is currently severe storms. Okay. Somebody's made it into the area over here. That's good to see. It's good to see that we have pretty much almost universal detection over most of these bases. A few fighters there. Yeah, a few fighters up over here at Aminato. I mean, what we'll be looking at is, once we do have an airfield closer to Hokkaido, sorry, we can actually we'll look towards actually neutralizing those bases. And so we'll go forwards then into the next turn. It's incredible, really, is it? We have the arsenal democracy at our fingertips here. But the thing is, the Japanese home islands, they're incredibly hard to crack. Very hard to crack. So we'll have to grind the Imperial Japanese Air Force down. Wait for our troops actually to make it to their positions and go from there, really. Oh, hello. Oh, hello indeed. What do we have here? So this is an actual Imperial Japanese Navy raid at Singapore. Holy hell. I mean, what does that look like? A heavy cruiser? But this is actually rather brave, and this is at night, so this is going to be rather intriguing. And obviously the allied, Yamiyoko. Whoa. She's opening fire in ocean. This is 9,000 yards. Yep, ocean's been hit there by the guns. Wow. Very brave raid there by the Imperial Japanese Navy. Hit but no explosion, that's a shame. Bloody hell, ocean might actually go down here. Internal explosion aboard ocean. Yep, I mean, this is inside of inside of Singapore as well, so I did not expect them. We do have quite a lot, I mean, especially with this amount of escorts, but I suppose we don't have any capital ships, do we, here? We do have a light cruiser, but that's not very much. Oh, excuse me. Right, range is increased to 10,000 yards. Wow. You know what? Ocean might very well go down here. She's been hit by shells. She's actually been torpedoed by the heavy cruiser Myoko. Myoko's actually really pulling us out of the bag. I'm genuinely impressed here. Yeah, the Allied gunnery has been terrible lately. I mean, there's a lot of destroyers. Indeed. Right, range is closing again. I mean... Wow. The Allied destroyers there colliding with each other. I think this is actually something of a panic at night here. Incredible, isn't it, the amount of damage that a small force can inflict at night. I mean, we'll be lucky if Ocean makes it out of this fight. Thankfully, she is in well, sorry, I keep wanting to say Hong Kong. She's already in Singapore, so we just need to dock her. But we'll see if she can make it out of the battle. Trafalgar gonna open in fire here. Yep, Ocean taking hits again. I don't think Ocean's gonna make it out of this. Yeah, she's not gonna make it out of this. Internal explosions. Should be lucky to make it out. Yep, seems like the absence of a capital ship is definitely being felt here. Yep, Cassandra's taking hits. Okay, let's see how this goes then. Right, the Allied task force manages to escape. I don't think Ocean can make it out. If she makes it through the night, she'll survive.
Greetings, everybody. How's tricks? This is Orphan Anne from Radio Tokyo, saying hello to all of her dog faces and boneheads wandering the Pacific Islands. Before we start the music, the Japanese High Command announced today that the Imperial Navy has achieved another great victory near Singapore, with the sinking of 2 carriers, a battleship, and numerous cruisers and destroyers.
You know, I never get tired of those. I genuinely never get tired of, like, the Orphan Anne and Tokyo Anne thing. That's always fantastic. Yep, the Allied destroyers actually had torpedoes. They just couldn't hit for shit. Survive Ocean. Ocean has survived. If she can make it through the night, we'll dock her up, and she's going to be able to go in a lot of repairs there. I'm actually quite impressed by the Japanese tenacity there. We'll avenge Ocean. Well, not that she's died, but she probably might. We have to accept that. Yep, Ocean goes down. Wow, okay. Yep, I am impressed. And a little bit disturbed, actually. I've got to hand it to the Imperial Japanese Navy. They still have some teeth there. That was a very impressive raid on Singapore at night. I don't think we really expected that. I don't think we even had a clue that they had a heavy cruiser in the area, so that was impressive. Ooh. Oh. Oh, I discovered a Japanese submarine on the surface there. We'll have to go for some reprisals. I suppose at the end of the day, we'll see what we have in Singapore. I don't know if we have anything larger than a light cruiser, but we'll see what we have available. We'll avenge the Ocean. large raid there. See, what worries me here is the jets in Tokyo. They might actually seek to bring them to bear over, over Okinawa. They might have the range for that, it's hard to say. I don't imagine they'd have a great amount of range, but it would be interesting to see if they actually did decide to use them. We can see that they can deal damage to our bombers. Ah, we lost the C-47, that's a shame. Right, here we go, the raid over Tokyo. Right, so we have 56 P-51s here on this first escort. We have over 200 actual bombers here, nearly 300 bombers once again. So we'll just have to see what can happen here. We are at a much higher altitude as well, so hopefully this should serve us quite well. I mean, the P-51s still have about 10,000 feet before their actual altitude ceiling, so I think we should be able to slaughter them here at this altitude with these fighters. Seems like the Japanese are just, yeah, wailing on us here at the moment. Yeah, we should be doing a lot better now with the escorts. Yeah, we are slaughtering quite a few of their fighters here, so that's quite good. I mean, just look at the sheer number of aircraft here. That is insane. We can't even fit all the Japanese aircraft on the actual screen here. Yeah, there's still some aircraft over here. That is insane. Bloody hell. I don't even know if there's any jets involved here. This is it. They might be up over here at the top of the screen. We just can't see. Okay, let's see how we get on here, then. Yeah, 33 fighter jets there. Wow. Wow. Okay, so 10 of our P-51s are destroyed there. 34 B-29s are damaged, 19 B-29-25s damaged, 1 destroyed by flak. But yeah, that is a lot of aircraft destroyed on the ground there. Importantly, some Ki-201s as well. That is a lot of aircraft. Right, 17 hits to the airbase, 1 hit to the actual airbase supply, 37 hits on the actual runway. Okay, so we can see that this is actually effective, and it's effective from 30,000 feet. But that is an impressive amount of response there at 30,000 feet by the Japanese. Very impressive. So we can see well, if we'd have gone lower at 20,000 feet, we would have been probably savaged again. 87 B-32 Dominators. We'll have to see if we have any B-51s to run escort from Clark, or at least from the Philippines, actually. Okay. Yep, more Japanese aircraft destroyed on the ground there. 2 B-32s destroyed there, 6 damaged. Good hits to the runway, very good hits. Yep, only 6 damage, good hits again. Right, here we go, another swipe at Tokyo. So we have the Thunderbolts here and the Mustangs, so that's a larger complement of actual fighters this time, with 158 bombers. So, we should do... I don't know, we might see less losses here, as we do have a larger amount of fighters. I mean, we have like a... yeah... I don't know, it's not a 1-to-1 ratio yet of fighter to bombers. It's not far. We need another 50 or so really to like equal that ratio. But it's not far off, is it really? So that's not too bad. Yeah, I think it's the jets that causing the main problems here, to be honest. Not too bad so far. Right then, let's see what the results of this are then. Okay, they look fairly good. We've taken some losses here, but for the most part, we're mostly good to go. Yeah, Captain Ruttins, Jenkins. That's a shame. But yeah, these are some just horrifically large numbers. You can see the amount of jets here is reduced though. Yeah, I mean, we're destroying a lot here in the air. We're also going to be destroying a lot on the ground as well, so that's very, very good news. Yeah. Not as many destroyed on the ground there, but losses were actually very light there. We only lost 3 aircraft, whereas obviously the Japanese came off quite badly there. Okay, as long as these raids are escorted, then we should be okay. Looks like the bombers suffered there to a degree. Again, we are shooting down more Japanese fighters here, so that's quite good. You can see that quite a lot of these KF-43s are destroyed, but these are massive numbers of fighters being destroyed here. Right, 4 destroyed, 2 destroyed by flak, 20 damage there. So light losses, actually no P-51s destroyed there. Well, I feel bad for these 15, but they actually do make it in and they make it out. They actually do make it out, that's very good. They don't appear to be so lucky, so 3 damage, 1 destroyed by flak, sorry, 3 destroyed. Yeah, this is the issue when they're actually not coordinated to fly with the main bombers. Then as long as we can keep up this pressure and knock out the airfield to Tokyo, at least destroy a good amount of aircraft. Yeah, we are hurting them on the ground here. Notice there's significantly less aircraft flying here, that's very interesting. Yep, a lot less aircraft there. A few more destroyed there. 2 on the ground as well. A few more hits in the actual runways. Yep, really hardly any combat patrol now. The good news is this is going to be driving up that actual fatigue and disruption. Well, fatigue in general. Morale's going to be dropping as well, as obviously they'll be taking losses. I mean, we've taken all our losses. But we haven't taken anywhere near the losses that we took last turn, so that's quite good. Okay, more Japanese aircraft destroyed, but incredible numbers that they actually still possess, and I can't believe that we lost the light crew, well, the light carrier Ocean, so that was a shame. Yeah, quite surprised by the inability of our destroyer escort there. The news is tightened around the Japanese home islands anyhow. Yep, good attack over the town. Interesting that we hit the port there as well. To be honest, well, we might, see, this is it. It's like if we just, well, if we knock out the Imperial Japanese Air Force over Tokyo, we do have free reign to just pretty much, level the Japanese economy there in the city. I mean, that is obviously a great... I mean, obviously Tokyo being the industrial heart of Japan. It might be worth it, but we'd have to use our carriers to support the action. Destroyed 8 damage, not bad at all. Okay, so very interesting turn so far then, really. Very interesting. Yep, our forces are continuing to arrive. We can see some Royal Australian Air Forces there just arrived at Brunei, I think it was. Dive bombers, okay. We'll transfer these to Singapore, actually. I'm still so surprised that Ocean went down. Well, I mean, I can understand why Ocean went down. She did get torpedoed and shelled quite a few times. This is it. We have no idea what is around here, so we'll have these newly transferred. Yeah, I mean... She's just not... Yeah, I mean, she's just basically AA only. Do we actually have anything in the... No, it's just destroys here, but we do have some actual submarines, so we're going to be sending the submarines out now. Let's see. Send them out in a large group to begin with, obviously to Palembang. From there, we'll set up actual patrol missions. Right, surface combat. Okay, so we have some very fast destroyers over here. I think we'll have to use them, really. The crews are fairly experienced, and they're actually better at night, which is rather impressive. Okay. We could attempt to hunt them down. We'll see. We are lacking capital ship support over at Singapore, so we do need to transfer that out there. Imperial Japanese submarines here. We'll have this force actually set out to head towards Singapore, actually, to support the operations over there at Singapore. Obviously to give it some capital ship support, really, as we don't really have that at all. Fighter support and bomber support will be welcome too. Okay. Are the Marines... well, are the infantry actually loaded here? Loading has been completed, okay. Right, so we do have to avoid these submarines here. Right. We'll make our way to Hiroshima. Right, follow Task Force 89. To be honest, I shouldn't really have them react. Well, we'll have them with, react within 1 hex. There we go. Okay, so they'll be leaving port now. And we do have like 20 destroyers in there, so that's a fair amount of firepower. But obviously it's going to be up to the actual aircraft here to make sure our safety is assured. They should be fine. Quite a few bombers there, quite a lot of fighters will be alright. Fairness though, we are running... well, we are running a ASW, aren't we? Which airbase is being hit again? I suppose we'll keep them on training for the time being. Saigon's out of range. Okay, so all the A-26s. Yeah, A-26s and the B-25s. Hello, hello there, new owls are. Okay. Right, so. Should be able to refuel the second task force over here from Guam. Okay, they've been refueled now. Only one house could be moved to this day. So what we want to do then is, we could see that we did deal damage here to the airfields at Tokyo. 16% damage. We've knocked out, well, knocked down the number of fighters there. That's good to see. We're going to interdict the orange shipping around this area. Which A-26 squadrons do you have? I mean, we're flying the ones from Clark. So we're going the 319th, so the A-26C. Okay. So we've arrived here at Midway. So we're going to refuel at Midway. Can't really dock here to refuel, can we? Oh, don't bloody unload. Okay, be fine. We'll make our way up to Itorufu. Well, we have the range there. We can obviously refuel the destroyer escorts. We'll have oilers to follow up soon. Right, the support is ready to go, so we'll have them make way. Oilers are still loading fuel. As we have the oilers down here at Peleliu, however the hell you pronounce it, and Guam. It'll take some time, but once we have that fuel, we'll be ready to go. Alright, the bow fighter. Yeah, it's fighter bomber. I don't think it even has any bombs, so we only really are using the 20mm Hispano cannons. Okay, so be within really, probably a week or 2 weeks before we can actually arrive here to start putting boots on Japanese soil, but we are going to be definitely targeting Hokkaido. I think we'll take the island of Torufu, and then make ready to take the base at Hakodate. Okay. We're going to increase the amount of actual combat patrol flown by the actual fighters here. It seems that some of them haven't actually been given orders. Increase that to 50. Yep, we're going for the northern coast. All carrier fighters in this hex. There we go. Increase the amount of combat patrol. That'll be good to go. Yep, 50%, that's good by me. Okay, so we have our carrier force over here at Iwo, so what we'll be doing then obviously is moving. We might even move the carriers out to support the operations at Tokyo. I would very much like to knock out the airbase at Tokyo so we can actually level the industry. Crash the industry, if you will. Okay, speed that up. I am still very impressed seeing Japanese ME 262s, really. Rather impressive. Right. Yep, the killers of the ocean. Now, we are in surface combat mode here, so ideally we should be able to, we do outnumber the force here of the Japanese. The issue is obviously the Miyoko is going to be obviously quite dangerous, so we do need to get some, well, torpedoes into her. Okay, at least we do begin the battle by scoring hits. Right, torpedoes out. Range closes to 8,000 yards. Yeah, the Japanese are taking the beating here at the moment. The danger is Miyoko. Sakai hit again. Torpedoes out. Range closes to 7,000 yards. Torpedoes out. .6,000 yards. I don't think Miyoko's actually opened fire here. She might have expended all, well, most of her ammunition in the last battle. Right, okay, looks like the battle might actually elude our grasp here. Sakai's taken a few hits here though, so that's quite good news. Okay, we'll speed up the actual results here of the battle. Ooh, Miyoko's now finally deemed it appropriate to open fire. To be honest, it's a shame that you missed the last turn, but Miyoko last turn with this force actually sallied out and sank the light carrier Ocean with a very large destroyer escort, and yeah, she managed to actually get in there, shell the actual Ocean, and also get a torpedo into her. Alright, Petard's taking a hit. So this is rather personal now. Yep, the Ocean has been sank by the Miyoko. Surprising. It was very surprising, to be honest. The escorts just were not capable of a time. Ew. So the Express has gone down. Wow. No, it was definitely not.
But first, Imperial General Headquarters
yeah, indeed.
The Imperial Navy has achieved another great victory near Singapore.
They believe Yoko's not going down, is she? So we lose the Petard. I think we lost the Express as well, actually, did it say? It must have been an Express class. But yeah, this is the issue. We definitely need capital ships over here. She did indeed. We see Japanese ships out there. Ooh. Okay, so we have discovered there are mines at Hakodate. Yeah. Lionfish and Ling hits a mine. That's a shame. I like all the train missions caught up in the attack, yeah, that's rather impressive. Yeah, I feel bad for the Emily. Yep, 106, yeah, that's definitely quite a lot of planes there. But these look to be the kamikaze, so we do have to be very careful. It might be that we have to pull out of range of these kamikaze planes here. Yeah, okay, we do destroy them all, but yeah, well, most of them. A little worrying. I think they are the kamikaze planes. Right, here we go. Very large attack there. So, the largest raid yet. Any F-8Fs yet? I can't remember if we actually have any F-8Fs. I know we'll get some with the Midway. Yeah, our largest raid here on Tokyo yet. Let's see what the results are like then. Okay, I see what the results are like, yeah. Yeah, these guys are the issue, but we have knocked the number down by half. But yeah, these raids are very large, that's very good. Okay, 2 damage, 1 destroyed on the ground, that's very important. Need to destroy as many as we can. So light losses actually, we can see that a lot of the B-29-25s were damaged there, but that's not too bad, we can repair that. 2 hits on the airbase and 17 hits on the runway. Need to keep up the pressure. As long as our losses aren't too bad, we can keep this up. Okay, that was actually fairly heavy in terms of losses. But, okay, so we don't see the jets run in here, that's good news. Looks like there's no damage inflicted on the actual runway as such. Yeah, they were mauled. Actually, not too bad. Okay, that's not bad. Right, the Dominators approaching Saigon. Yeah, they make it through. Hey, can you imagine the amount of sweeping aircraft that we'd have to use to clear these skies above Tokyo? Nice size raid there, 111. Yeah, I can imagine. I don't imagine that was a fun time. And our aircraft loss ratio has decreased dramatically, so that's good. Right, we don't actually manage to get in there. I mean, we might consider actually flying at maximum altitude, to be fair. Not too bad, not too bad. 1 vehicle lost here. Not quite like the near 6,000 we destroyed there just outside Takao. Yep, which is why the P-51s are so very effective at altitude. No hits, but no losses either. Nice raid there on Hong Kong. Okay. Not much loss in the air there. 2 aircraft are undestroyed, 1 A6M5 destroyed. But yeah, we do cause quite a lot of issues here in Hong Kong. 1,022 casualties inflicted there. Yeah. It's interesting. I wonder if the Japanese are trying to bring their troops home with these sorts of movements. I mean, we sank about 5,500-ish troops outside Takao. I mean, that's over 1,000 troops outside of Hong Kong, so I wonder if they were trying to bring them home. Very dangerous. Wow. Not gonna lie, that is a shock. Japanese shock attack at parry. But look at their assault votes drop. Yeah, that looks like desperation there. 2,715 Japanese casualties and not a single allied casualty there. Yep, they were pretty much annihilated by their firepower, I'd imagine. Yep, 166 guns, 217 vehicles, 19,000 troops, yeah. That did not go well. Japanese units surrounded a party. Interesting. Okay, so interesting turn there. We've actually learned really quite a lot. We'll really have to decide how we want to use our B-29s. It's going to be a difficult mission really to destroy the Japanese Air Force at, well, at Tokyo. It could be done, but it would take a lot of time and effort. Yeah, they repair that damage very quickly. It might be that it's practically impossible due to the sheer amount of engineers that they actually have at Tokyo to repair the airfield damage. But we have took down their numbers by about 200 or so, give or take. It could be done. Alright, we've lost sight of the Miyoko. The Miyoko must be around here somewhere. Oh yeah, they really are. They will not surrender either. Now, our submarines did take some damage over here. So, good lesson. Actually, one we do not want to really repeat. I don't know where they are. Okay, they might have gone down, actually. And if we take a look at the amount of aircraft losses... Yeah, you can see that we have lost a lot of these B-29s. Obviously, we have learnt our lesson since we low altitude. Still leveling the ground for Hokkaido. We will be... It might be that we actually switch tactics and away from Tokyo. Though we do lack the range, we could potentially still hit Minato, for example, and obviously the bases over here in Hokkaido. But it would be nice to have a base that was actually closer. So we might be on the lookout for a base that can actually support a large airfield. But we do have operations in play to actually seize Itorofu. It's gonna take a few, yeah. Yeah, this is it. We tried it in the day, and yeah, I didn't expect jets. They had about 42 jets, so that was rather surprising. But yeah, our losses had to be expected. It's unfortunate, but we have learned a lesson since then. A hard lesson. Granted, a hard lesson. Yep, we've since found that, which works quite well. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for watching. We have unfortunately reached the end of my time slot here, so I'd like to say a big thank you all for watching, and I'd like to say potentially stay tuned for part 3 next week. I mean, we are starting to build the pressure here, and our forces are on their way. We'll be able to start looking at landing in Hokkaido, potentially in part 3 or part 4 more than likely. So until next time here, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for watching, and goodbye for now. I hope you have a fantastic time and day. You can find me on YouTube at XTRG, and I will leave a link to both my channel and my Discord in the chat. So until next time, thank you for watching. Do be sure to let Matrix and Slytherin know just how much you've enjoyed this, and I'd like to say a big thanks to Matrix and Slytherin for allowing this to happen. Until next time, goodbye for now. Have a great one, ladies and gentlemen. Goodbye for now.